What if I told you that every time you text her good morning, you're actually making her want you less? Not slightly less, significantly less. 90% of guys believe the same broken lie. Give her all your attention, agree with everything she says, always be available, and she'll fall for you. But behavioral psychology proves the exact opposite is happening inside her brain. Science says, the more predictable and available you become, the faster attraction dies. And here's what no one talks about. The moment you pull that attention back, a precise chemical reaction fires inside her brain that makes her think about you obsessively. Today, I'm going to walk you through the exact 4 psychological stages her brain goes through the moment you stop giving her constant attention. But pay very close attention, because there's an invisible psychological line most guys accidentally cross. And if you cross it without knowing, she doesn't just stop chasing you. She disappears from your life forever. Stay with me, because stage 4 will completely change how you see attraction. Welcome to Alpha True Zen. If you're new here, subscribe right now, because what you're about to hear is going to rewire how you think about attention, attraction, and your own value. Let's decode what's actually happening in modern dating. Think of it as an attention economy. In the age of social media, women are drowning in attention. It's not even slightly valuable to them anymore. Post one photo. Instantly hundreds of likes, heart reacts, comments, DMs flooding in. Dozens of guys lined up competing for a single reply. When you're one of those guys, always available, replying within seconds, predictable, you become background noise. You don't stand out. You become invisible while being completely visible. Now here's the neuroscience behind why this kills attraction. Your brain runs on a dopamine loop. Every good morning text you send, every like, every compliment, delivers a tiny dopamine hit to her brain. Dopamine is the brain's reward chemical. When you deliver that dopamine constantly, with no breaks, no unpredictability, her brain adapts. It expects you. It takes you for granted. And then comes the predictability killer. The human brain loses interest in anything it can perfectly predict. If she knows you'll text at 8 a.m., ask about lunch at noon, and say goodnight at 10 p.m., there's no mystery left. And mystery is the oxygen of attraction. When the mystery dies, the attraction dies with it. So what happens the moment you cut off that supply? This is where it gets fascinating. When a consistent dopamine source suddenly vanishes, the brain sends an error signal. Something is wrong. Something broke. She starts thinking, is his phone broken? Did I say something wrong? Is he talking to someone else? Here's the best analogy for this. You're watching your favorite thriller. You're completely locked in. The tension is building. And then your Wi-Fi cuts out. What do? You don't calmly sit back and relax. You refresh. You check the router. You stare at the little loading icon. You can't focus on anything else until the connection comes back. Your silence is that Wi-Fi dropout. She checks her phone, checks the last scene, checks if the message delivered. But here's the critical truth most guys miss. At this stage, she's not missing you yet. She's missing the validation you gave her for free. Her ego took a hit. She's thinking, the guy who used to wait hours just to see my name appear online isn't even looking at my messages anymore. That confusion? That's stage 1, and it's just the beginning. If you've ever read-receipted someone and felt that weird guilt or satisfaction, you already know how powerful this is. Hit like if this is making sense. Because stage 2 is where her brain starts doing something you'd never expect. You might think she's moved on, hanging out with friends, busy with her day. She's not. In 1927, Russian psychologist Bluma Zygarnik discovered something remarkable while studying restaurant waiters. Waiters could perfectly recall unpaid orders, every detail. But once a table was settled and paid, they forgot everything almost instantly. The brain obsesses over unfinished business. It craves closure. Incomplete tasks burn 90% more mental energy than completed ones. Your disappearance is that unfinished task. Her brain cannot let it go. It's an open loop, and open loops demand to be closed. Imagine a thriller. The killer's identity is about to be revealed, and the power goes out. Can you sleep? No. You lie there mentally replaying the clues, trying to figure out the ending yourself. That's what your silence does to her. She starts scrolling back through your old conversations, looking for clues, trying to pinpoint exactly when things shifted. What did she say? What did she miss? And you know what that means? You are now living rent-free inside her head. She's in class, thinking about you. She's at dinner with friends, thinking about you. She's lying in bed, thinking about you. She cannot manually override it. The Zeigarnik loop won't let her. The best part? You didn't say a word. You just stopped. But wait, this is also the most dangerous moment. Because stage 3 is where her perception of you completely transforms. And most guys accidentally destroy it right here. Now we enter the most powerful psychological force in human attraction. Dr. Robert Cialdini, one of the world's leading psychologists, proved it in his landmark work on influence. When something becomes scarce or harder to access, the human brain assigns it dramatically more value. We always want what's moving away from us. Think about a diamond. What is a diamond, really? It's carbon, compressed carbon, the same element in a pencil lead. But we pay fortunes for diamonds and sweep pencil shavings into the trash. Why? Because diamonds are rare. Because you can't just reach down and grab one. Now look at what your attention used to be. Sand. Common. Everywhere. Free. You texted first every morning. You replied instantly. You were always there. Your attention required nothing from her. But now? Now your attention is the diamond. She doesn't know when she'll get it. She doesn't know if she'll get it. And suddenly, for the first time, she has to think about what it means. Her brain registers. This man has standards. He has his own world. He is not my puppet. And that single realization flips everything. She now sees you as high value. Not because you told her you are, but because her own brain concluded it through experience. If this is clicking, drop a leche in the comments. Because stage 4 is the moment everything reverses. This is the flip. This is what you've been waiting for. The human brain cannot sustain uncertainty and anxiety for long. It needs resolution. She's been through the confusion, the overthinking, the shift in how she sees you. And now her brain forces her to act. The girl who used to ignore your messages for hours? She'll reach out first, but she won't say, "I miss you." That would feel too vulnerable. Instead, she'll send something small, indirect. A meme, a random, "Hey." A question she already knows the answer to. What was the name of that restaurant we went to? Or, "My laptop is doing this thing. Do you know how to fix it?" She's testing the water, testing whether she still has her old control over you. This is the most critical moment of the entire process. If you jump on that message, reply in 5 seconds with a long, eager response. It's over. She sees through it instantly. The silence was just a performance. You were waiting the whole time. But if you reply casually, briefly, a little late, the dynamic shifts permanently. She understands. His attention is earned, not given. Before you go radio silent, hear this. There's a razor-thin line between creating space and ghosting. Cross it, and you lose her forever. If you ignore her for weeks, never respond, leave everything on read with no signal of life, her brain's defense system activates. Psychology calls it the avoidant attachment trigger. Once that fires, her brain labels you as a threat, as toxic, as unsafe, and to protect herself, she shuts off every emotion she had for you, completely and permanently. No amount of texting, calling, or explaining will bring her back at that point. Her brain won't allow it. Creating space means be slightly less available, let some time pass, stop being the first one to reach out every single time. Ghosting means disappearing entirely with zero signal. Don't do this. Your attention is your most valuable currency. Stop spending it like it's worthless. But here's the deeper truth. The guy who creates space because he's genuinely busy, building his career, working out, pursuing his goals, that guy is magnetic. The guy who creates space as a fake game, girls detect it within days. They have a sixth sense for performance. It doesn't work, and it makes you look desperate. The only version of this that works long-term is becoming a man who actually has a life worth being busy with. Your attention should be a natural byproduct of your excellence, not a strategy. The best gift you can give a woman is the space to miss you. But you can only give that gift authentically if you have somewhere worth going when you step back. Go build that life. Don't be in the 90% of guys who slowly suffocate attraction with constant availability. Every time you bombard a woman with messages, every time you reply instantly no matter what, Every time you make yourself infinitely available, you're not showing love. You're draining your own value in real time. Pull back. Not as a game, as a standard. Because the man who is hardest to pin down, the man who has a purpose bigger than getting her attention, is always the one she can't stop thinking about. If this video changed how you see attraction and psychology, subscribe to Alpha True Zen. We go deep on the science behind human behavior, relationships, and becoming the man women are actually drawn to. Drop a comment. Which stage hit closest to home? See you in the next one.